What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have an all-new casting that a lot of people didn't even realize was a new casting. We have the BMW M5 E34. This one debuted in Fast and Furious earlier just this year in 2024. So let's take a closer look at this one and see how good it is and if it is worth adding to your collections. So as always, let's go ahead and get started with our casting. We'll take a quick look at our sizing and proportions here, and we can see that it is very nice. It definitely has good proportions and it looks like an M5 should. Go ahead and plop it down, and we will put the real life car up in the top right corner there so you can kind of compare the two. So great proportions. Let's go ahead and look at the casting as a whole. We will see our body lines are all very nice, very crisp. You can actually see them pretty nice. Door handles looking good. We do get mirrors on this casting. They are metal. That's really good to see. Moving into the up front section here, all this is casted in, so it is detailed over, obviously, and we'll get to that later. But everything is actually casted in, and it looks really, really nice, especially with this first release here. Making our way to the top, we can see that we do get the sunroof. It is not a piece of plastic, so it's casted in as if it was closed, the sunroof closed. I personally prefer that style look. On the roof here, more details casted in. Making our way to the back, once again, our taillight section here is actually casted in and then detailed over, which looks really, really nice. On the base here, lots of details, and the exhaust being a piece of the base. Paint and deco. So this was released in Fast and Furious, so it was kind of limited to what it could look like based on however it looked in the movie. No idea what movie this one came from. No idea anything about it, but it came out looking very nice and clean and sleek. Very, very good. Very stealthy look approach to it. I think it looks fantastic. One thing to note is that sometimes Hot Wheels cars suffer from an orange peel effect, especially with the black paint, it seems like. But that is not an issue here, which is very, very nice to see. Moving into our details category. So starting right up front. So we mentioned that all this was casted in, but we do get all your front headlights that you'd want to see, reflectors, all that. BMW badging right there for M5. Grille, get some tampo work done. There is little extra tampos down here for running lights or whatnot. Another one down here on the side. And then our BMW logo right there on the top. Moving down the sides, though, there's really not much else to talk about except for our 10-spoke wheels here, which look really good here. Sometimes when these aren't done in like a chrome, they kind of give a plasticky vibe. And they do have that issue here, but it's not as bad. Down the windows here, there is window trimming like across the entire side windows, and that looks pretty nice. Moving on to the rear, though. Taillights completely perfectly done, looking very, very nice. No license plate, however, but we do get the BMW logo there and the M5 badge there. So overall, detailing-wise, pretty good, not too shabby. Moving into our roll test, as a Hot Wheels model, it should be no surprise that it rolls extremely smooth. Now, I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it comes out to be 55.22 grams, which is very, very heavy. So it definitely has a nice quality heavy feel to it, and that is something I personally really like. Pros and cons. So the first big pro is that this is the initial release. This is the first chance to get this casting in your collection from Hot Wheels. I'm not sure if any other brands have ever done an E34 M5. I'd be kind of surprised if no one else has, but this is definitely a very easy way to get this car in your collection right now. The other huge pro for it is going to be the crispness of the details. I'm not even talking about the tampo details. I'm just talking about the casting as a whole. The casted in details, especially up front, is very, very nice and looks really good. Moving into our cons, I am very happy to report that I actually can't come up with any major cons for this one. I mean, you could always gripe about the, $6.50, almost $7 after tax price tag for Hot Wheels premiums, but at this point, I don't know if that's ever going to reverse back to the way it was. But yeah, other than that, there's really nothing that you could really gripe about, in my opinion, about this one. Moving into some size comparisons, here is with some other BMWs you might have, with the BMW M3 E46 from Hot Wheels Premium, and the BMW M850i Coupe from MSZ Diecast. And here it is with some other brands of 1/64th-ish scale cars, with the Matchbox BMW M4 and the Majorette Jaguar F-Type. So with all of that out of the way, it is now time to give the overall final thoughts. So the hype level is going to be an 8.2 out of 10. A lot of people did not realize that this was a new casting. So for that reason, the hype was not as high as I think it probably would have been if more people had kind of realized that. The execution, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I could really say I'd prefer it to have would be a chrome-plated wheels instead of just this kind of gray coloring. I don't think they look bad, though, so it's not a big dock. The community input. I went and gave this one to the Council of Diecast. Here are their thoughts. Everyone seems to have pretty good opinions of this one, and their score ends up rounding up to be about an 8.8. When we take these three scores and average them together, our final score is also an 8.8 out of 10. So I feel like that is a very, very good score for this model. Hype level is really the only thing that I feel like brought this casting down, as a lot of people just did not even realize it was a new casting at all. That actually did make this casting pretty easy to find, at least in my area, so that was actually kind of nice. I don't mind that at all. If more people don't realize it's a new casting and it makes it a little easier to find, more power to those of us who do know that it's a new casting. This absolutely came out great, especially in the detailing section. This just, you can't really ask for too much more. I would say that if you were to find this one on pegs, you absolutely should pick it up and add it to your collection. I know, usually I'm not a huge fan of black cars because I think black usually hides the body lines pretty well. But this one just came out really good. It just looks stealthy and mean. I think it looks phenomenal. I would probably say that if you can find it on pegs, absolutely go for it. I would probably not pay more than the peg price, though, because it's very nice, but I wouldn't say it's worth spending more than like $10 or so on, because at that point, you might as well find it from a premium brand, if any premium brands have done an M5 E34. And with that, guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.